So we'll start from where we left yesterday. A little stress is good for you, while sustained intense stress is a known enemy of longevity and both mental and physical health. Low level of stress have been shown to be beneficial. After observing a group of test subjects for more than 20 years, Dr. Howard S. Friedman, a psychology professor at the University of California, Riverside, discovered that people who maintained a low level of stress, who faced challenges and put their heart and soul into their work in order to succeed, lived longer than those who chose a more relaxed lifestyle and retired earlier. From this, he concluded that a small dose of stress is a positive thing, as those who live with low levels of stress tend to develop healthier habits, smoke less, and drink less alcohol. Given this, it is not surprising that many of the supercentenarians, people who live to be 110 or more, whom we'll meet in this book, talk about having lived intense lives and working well into the old age. So the catch here is whatever stress, you can call it stress, you can call it anxiety, any other name that you can think of. But if it is in a level of moderation, I repeat, anything, especially stress, anything else, if it is in a level of moderation, it is always good for you. The issue in life in general happens when we go and look at different extremes. और ये हमारे को बचपन से एक कंडीशनिंग में, एक प्रोग्रामिंग में डाला जाता है through our parents, through our teachers, through our influencers in our childhood, that you need to excel at everything. I'm not saying you don't need to excel at everything, but then if that is causing stress, you need to be in balance with everything. Even if it's studies, you need to be in balance. If you are enjoying it, you will automatically go in and try to become, say, probably the topper in the school or college or whatever is it that you desire. But as a parent or as an influencer, we should be very, very clear to teach everybody around is to live a life of balance. See, because it's quite evident, a lot of people I know of also, and I've heard of also, they end up working so hard for themselves that, what they've thought that after 60, they will earn this much money and then they will enjoy their life. In the end, their wealth actually is being used for all their medical treatments. What a pity. जब थे तब लालच था कि और कमाने हैं, जब स्पेंड करने की बारी आई तो वो डायरेक्शन चेंज हो गई. वही चीज अगर हमने अर्निंग पे भी बैलेंस रखा होता, फैमिली लाइफ पे भी बैलेंस रखा होता, स्ट्रेस लेवल्स पे भी बैलेंस रखा होता, हर एक चीज को अगर हमने एक बैलेंस में किया होता, wherein we were enjoying the fruits of all spokes of life, things would have been way different. Any extremity which can be in any sphere or any spoke of life will cause some issue here or there. But a balance where everything is in control, everything is in tandem, everything is in balance, will make sure that you get fruits of all spheres, and in the end you are a calmer and a quieter person. और आपको stress, all these dogmas which are being used will be there, but they will not affect you. It's like the stress is sitting right there. I know, I acknowledge it. Okay, it's there. But it's up to me whether I want to give that stress the power to take over me. That choice is always ours. Remember, whatever is in your outside world can only get into your inner world if your mind or if you give that thing the permission. A lot of sitting will age you. In the Western world, in particular, the rise in sedentary behavior has led to numerous diseases such as hypertension and obesity, which in turn affects longevity. Spending too much time seated at work or at home not only reduces muscular and respiratory fitness, but also increases appetite and curbs the desire to participate in activities. Being sedentary can lead to hypertension, imbalanced eating, cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, and even certain kinds of cancer. Recent studies have shown a connection between a lack of physical activity and the progressive distortion of telomeres in the immune system, which ages those cells and in turn the organism as a whole. This is a problem at all life stages, not only among adults. Sedentary children suffer from high rates of obesity and all its associated health issues and risks, which is why it is so important to develop a healthy and active lifestyle at an early age. It's easy to be less sedentary. It just takes a bit of effort and a few changes to your routine. We can access a more active lifestyle that makes us feel better inside and out. We just have to add a few ingredients to our everyday habits. Walk to work, or just go on a walk for at least 20 minutes each day. Use your feet instead of an elevator or an escalator. This is good for you. This is good for your posture, your muscles, and your respiratory system, among other things. Participate in social or leisure activities so that you don't spend too much time in front of the television. Replace your junk food with fruit, and you'll have less of an urge to snack and more nutrients in your system. Get the right amount of sleep. 7 to 9 hours is good, but any more than that makes us lethargic. Play with children or pets or join a sports team. This not only strengthens the body, but also stimulates the body and boosts self esteem. Be conscious of your daily routine in order to detect harmful habits and replace them with more positive ones. By making these small changes, we can begin to renew our bodies and minds and increase our life's expectancy. We all have these corporate cultures, and last 2 years, majority of us have been in a situation where we are working from home and not much of exercises happening. So just doing some basic things, like one very important thing which is probably been with me now for the past 4 years since I had that lower back issue, is that when you're sitting on a chair just 45 minutes or an hour, uske baad just get up from the seat and just stretch yourself for a minute or two. That's it. That's exactly how much time is that going to take. But yeah, that keeps the body active. So anything to do with basic physical work. See, if you have a machine and it's just lying there, probably it's your car, it's just lying there in your garage or in your parking area, and you don't even make an effort to switch it on or go anywhere in that car. After some time, what is going to happen to that car? For example, there is nobody to clean that car. It'll be filled with dust, it'll be dirty. और अगर हमने उसको ऑन ही नहीं किया है तो अगर 6 महीने या साल बाद जब हम उसको ऑन करेंगे, chances are quite strong that it will not start. It will need some external help. So let us not push ourselves to a place that where we are dependent on an external help for our own body. It is very important to keep this body. See, because this body is actually a gift to you on this school of earth. तो जितना हम इसकी केयर करेंगे, जितना हम इसको एक्टिव रखेंगे, मैं नहीं कह रहा बी अ फ्रीक, बेसिक 15-20 मिनट आधा घंटा भी अगर आपने कर लिया ना, is more than sufficient. Yeah, if you can go to a 1 hour a day, that's ideal. If you can, walk or do any kind of an exercise from 45 minutes to an hour a day, probably 5 or 6 days a week, that's the ideal. I mean, there's nothing better than that. But अगर वो नहीं होता, तो let's start with 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, so that habit kicks in. धीरे 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 अपने आप you'll start getting the benefits. And one basic thing which I really request everybody to do is start walking barefoot on grass. 10 मिनट, 5 मिनट, 15 मिनट, जितना आपसे हो सकता है, whatever time you, how much time you have. Just go to a garden nearby or where there is sand, get in direct contact with Mother Earth and do this grounding exercise. It's very, very powerful. In fact, next time you do it, just do a walk for 5 minutes with barefooted, no footwear, nothing. Barefoot means barefoot. And after that 5 minutes walk, just stand there and feel the energy from your feet traveling up in your body. You'll feel that heat, you'll feel that sensation in your feet with just 5 minutes of earth walk. So I request everybody to please go and try it for yourself and do it. If you can do grounding for 15-20 minutes every day for 5 days a week, you will not need anything else. इतनी power है Mother Earth. Because at the end of the day, we are nothing but a constituent of those 5 elements. और उसमें earth is one of the predominant. धरती पे भी पानी है, हमारे अंदर भी पानी है. So our body is nothing but a combination of those 5 elements. And out of those 5 elements, earth is very important. And earth is where we can take our maximum strength from. A model's best kept secret. Though we age both externally and internally, both physically and mentally, one of the things that tell us the most about people's age is their skin, which takes on different textures and colors according to processes going on beneath the surface. Most of those who make their living as models claim to sleep between 9 and 10 hours the night before a fashion show. This gives their skin a taut, wrinkle-free appearance and a healthy, radiant glow. Science has shown that sleep is a key anti-aging tool because when we sleep, we generate melatonin, a hormone that occurs naturally in our bodies. The pineal gland produces it from the neurotransmitter serotonin according to our diurnal and nocturnal rhythms, and it plays a role in our sleep and waking cycles. A powerful antioxidant, melatonin, helps us live longer and also offers the following benefits. It strengthens the immune system. It contains an element that protects against cancer. It promotes the natural production of insulin. It slows the onset of Alzheimer's disease. It helps prevent osteoporosis and fight heart disease. For all these reasons, melatonin is a great ally in preserving youth. It should be noted that melatonin production decreases after age 30. We can compensate for this by eating a balanced diet and getting more calcium, soaking up a moderate amount of sun each day, getting enough sleep, avoiding stress, alcohol, tobacco, and caffeine, all of which make it harder to get a good night's rest, depriving us of the melatonin we need. Experts are trying to determine whether artificially stimulating production of melatonin might help slow the aging process, which would confirm the theory that we already carry the secret to longevity within us. See, sleep is very, very important. Uh, in fact, I was just today, Manthan has an annual function tomorrow. So we got a special message from the school that make sure your ward sleeps for a good 10 hours, 11 hours today so that he's fresh tomorrow. So, it has a direct link. Yeah. The scientific working is the production of melatonin. Now, if you study Alzheimer's may the body is unable to produce melatonin naturally. So a lot of times in Alzheimer's, it's legal now in America, which is given the term medical marijuana. Medical marijuana helps produce melatonin. Like in diabetic patients, there are cases type 2 diabetes. If you talk about, the body does not produce enough insulin, so you take artificial insulin. Same as with Alzheimer's, the melatonin are not being produced naturally by the body. So then medical marijuana helps produce the melatonin, the happy chemical, and all these others. So yeah, it's a detailed scientific doctor work. Not a good expert at it as of now. Hopefully, yes. And whenever I am, I'll share with everybody.
I think melatonin is over the counter. It's not something you buy it from Amazon, man. You don't need to get a prescription for it even in India, is what I understand. So it's just it gets produced when there is no sunlight. That's how you feel sleepy when there is no sun, is my basic understanding of it.
ये
I will
बहुत
share for
sources
the
है
audience.
मेलेटोनिन के, बहुत सन वगैरह तो सारा इसने बोला ही है. So there are other sources.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct.
But see, the whole issue is
Supplements,
if it can be produced naturally in the body,
of
nothing
course,
better than
that's
that.
the best, of course. Yeah, agree.
Anti-aging attitudes. The mind has tremendous power over the body and how quickly it ages. Most doctors agree that the secret to keeping the body young is keeping the mind active, a key element of Ikigai, and in not caving in when we face difficulties through our lives. One study conducted at Yeshiva University found that the people who live the longest have two dispositional traits in common: a positive attitude and a high degree of emotional awareness. In other words, those who face challenges with a positive outlook and are able to manage their emotions are already well on their way towards longevity. A stoic attitude, serenity in the face of a setback, can also help keep you young, as it lowers anxiety and stress levels and stabilizes behavior. This can be seen in the greater life expectancies of certain cultures with unhurried, deliberate lifestyles. Many centenarians and supercentenarians have similar profiles. They have had full lives that were difficult at times, but they knew how to approach these challenges with a positive attitude and not be overwhelmed by the obstacle they faced. Alexander Image, who in 2014 became the world's oldest living man at age 111, knew he had good genes, but understood that other factors contributed too. The life you live is equally or more important for longevity. He said in an interview with Reuters after being added to Guinness World Records in 2014. You know what? Basically, at the end of the day, your attitude with which you approach life really plays the key, because whatever is happening for everybody. It's not that वो आपके साथ स्पेसिफिक हो रहा है. हर एक की एज आ रही है, हर एक का वर्क इश्यूज आते हैं. Every nearly all experiences with varying degrees are common to all, but a few people have the attitude to take it in a different manner, whereas a few take the same thing in a different manner. That is the catch. For example, I there is something which is happening outside which is not affecting me, but whereas the same thing can be affecting the other person. So catch क्या है? उस चीज में कुछ नहीं है, उस एक्सपीरियंस में कुछ नहीं है. How we are perceiving that experience, how our mind is interpreting it in our own definition, is how it is going to react in your body. So if I say aloe vera or any other ingredient is like wonderful, it is getting my body charged up, no doubt they will have their own benefits. But if I have it like that and I give it that conviction, it's going to affect me nicely. But if the other person says यार ये तो कुछ है ही नहीं है, ही यार तुम लोग पागलों की तरफ लाई जा रहे हो यार, ये कुछ होता है यार, पत्ते हैं यार, क्या है यार, how do you think that is going to react in his body? It's the same thing with the same benefit. So your attitude towards life, towards everything that is happening, is one of the most important factors. They talk about this stoic attitude. So I have this book called Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. So everyday lesson hota hai usme. Now, a stoic is nothing but a philosophy of the school of Zen, which was founded by Zeno, who taught that people should be, free from passion, unmoved by joy or grief, and submit without complaint to unavoidable necessary. मतलब कि जो है वो है, इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग उनके अंदर ये डाला जाता है. इट्स मतलब they are actually the true participants of isness, कि this is, ये हमें अफेक्ट ही नहीं कर सकता. सो अगर वो खुशी है तो भी ठीक है, अगर वो ग्रीफ है, गम है, तो भी ठीक है. So if you can be in that, so because that's the state of Buddha, because nothing should affect you. You are in that state where you are following those four noble truths जो बुद्धा की teachings में है. And one of the, it's very clear कि भैया things should not affect you. It is as it is. So your attitude towards whatever you're doing. So next time, whenever you are, doing anything, just make sure your intention should be always positive. आप जो भी कुछ कर रहे हो ना, ये बोल के करो, my intention is this. I intend to eat this meal and get the nutritional benefits out of it. Thank you, God. So if your intention and your attitude is aligned with whatever positive that can be, chances are quite dominant that your entire thing your entire life will move more towards the above line, the positive zone. An ode to longevity. During our stay in Ogimi, the village that holds the Guinness record for longevity, a woman who was about to turn 100 years old sang the following song for us in a mixture of Japanese and the local dialect. To keep healthy and have a long life, eat just a little of everything with relish. Go to bed early, get up early, and then go out for a walk. We live each day with serenity and we enjoy the journey. To keep healthy and have a long life, we get on well with all of our friends, spring, summer, fall, winter. We happily enjoy all seasons. The secret is not get distracted by how old the fingers are, from the fingers to the head and back once again. If you keep moving with your fingers working, 100 years will come to you. We can now use our fingers to turn the page to the next chapter, from where we will look at the close relationship between longevity and discovering our life's mission.